welcome to another live episode of Stuck in My Mind podcast. I am your host, WIZE, and I'm proud to announce we have a new sponsor. It's actually a good friend of mine, so check out this video. Attention all business owners. Are you tired of managing your finances and taxes on your own? Let the experts at 1-800-TAX-MASTERS help. Our team of experienced professionals offers a range of services to help you keep your finances in order, from personal and business tax returns to monthly accounting, quarterly and annual tax planning, and virtual controller and CFO services. With our virtual services, you can get the support you need without ever having to leave your office. Don't let taxes and finances stress you out any longer. Visit www.1800taxmasters.com today and let us handle the numbers so you can focus on growing your business. All right, so we're back, and I have a very special guest. She's an author, it says ex-entrepreneur. Welcome to the show, Jan Cavell.
Thank you so much. It's great to be with you.
So that's the first time I saw ex-entrepreneur. So you're an ex.
Well, I had businesses for a few decades, and I don't have a business as such apart from me anymore. So I sometimes I say I'm a semi-retired entrepreneur. Sometimes I say I'm an ex-entrepreneur. I don't know what the answer is to that either.
I found that interesting. I'm like, it's okay. So is she not an entrepreneur? So I guess she's just ex. Okay, but no, I thought that was funny. I laughed when I saw it actually. Oh, all right, so you're an author. You're also an author, and
I am. I am currently an author. No X about it. Yes.
yes. You're also an author. Yes.
Yeah.
How many books have you written?
I'm on 2 currently.
Oh, you're on your second one now?
And my second one came out just under 2 weeks ago.
Oh, and what, you're writing the third one already?
No,
Okay.
no, I'm not. I'm still trying to play catch up on after the second one. We had some launch events and all the caboodle that went with it, which was lovely. But you know what it's like. You put the rest of life on hold, and then your inbox fills up with the aftermath, and you think, what's going on? Will life ever be normal again? So no, I definitely haven't thought about a third. But the second's going really well, and it's been such an amazing experience working with a lot of people on it. And yeah, so all good.
Was that, did you, like, when you wrote the first one, was that something you had wanted to do, was write a book?
Yeah, I'd wanted to write since I was a little girl, so a long time. But it all got shelved with life and one thing and another. And then I'd started writing articles about 10 years ago. Well, 10 years ago then, probably, for business magazines. And so when I did part company with the last business, I thought, um, definitely now's the time to have a go if I'm going to do it at all. And yeah, so sorry, that's my machine just reminding me to speak to you, which I already know. I do beg your pardon. I shall switch it off.
It's fine. Listen, life happens. Believe me, I've had plenty of life moments on my podcast. So,
I'm sure. I'm sure. Yes.
yes, I have a 2-year-old grandson, Bryson,
Oh, lovely.
and he's happened to crawl into my studio
So he
and see.
joins you for the podcast.
Oh, he's joined the podcast a couple of times, but no, he sees the bright light under my desk, and he'll press the button, and everything shuts off.
Oh,
Everything
brilliant.
goes.
Yeah,
So it's life happens,
it
and we
does. It does. Yeah.
and it's great because the guests, I've had it happen a couple of times with him. I got to start learning how to lock the door, but then he starts banging on it. But
Yeah, you can't win with a 2-year-old, but
no,
they are gorgeous.
and so, but life happens, and sometimes I even forget sometimes to cut off my phone.
Yeah. No, it's easily done. I'm better. Well, I do quite a lot of Zoom with one thing and another, and Zoom somehow goes switch off my emails because you just sort of go from that prompt. Whereas StreamYard is a different matter for some reason. That's on the computer, so you leave your emails open. I don't know why. Mentally, it is very silly.
Oh, no, nah, it's fine. Um, yeah, I started. I was gonna start using Zoom, but when I started using StreamYard, I was like,
Mm,
it was much more convenient.
yeah, it's good for lives, isn't it? I think. Yeah,
Yes, and and right now I'm going to 8 destinations right now, so it's going to enough places, and so and
that's
and the fact that I get to go live, I can either do pre-recorded, which I started. That's how I started with my live with my
mm,
video, and then I this year I switched to live shows, and again I'm about to tweak it again, and instead of having three guests on a week, I'm gonna just scale it back to one, and the other 2 days focus on other topics.
yeah,
Me speaking
no,
more,
that's nice.
yeah, just me speaking more, and yeah, so I'm excited for that transition.
Indeed, indeed. No, well, I'm in awe of what you've achieved. I think to do well in the podcasting space is quite an achievement now.
I honestly I really don't do it for the accolades. I do it more for the 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 lessons I learn and being able to have people come on and talk about what they've done
Mm,
and what they've achieved and hopefully they can inspire someone out there who hears their story and get inspired by it. So
that's right. Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, people are amazing. I love, for my writing, I talk to people. I don't have a podcast, but for my writing, I talk to people, and it's just such a joy and a privilege listening to other people's stories and their lives and what makes them tick. I get the attraction of it entirely. It's lovely.
so would you consider ever doing a podcast?
I don't know. There's so many people who do it well. Since this last book, albeit it's been less than 2 weeks, but about three people have said to me, "You know what you ought to do from that book, because of the way the book's constructed and the material in it, and there's stories from a lot of entrepreneurs in it." And people are going, "You've got to do a podcast from it." I don't know. I don't know. It's. I
What
would have
someone
ruled
reading
it
what
out.
reading chapters of the book or just
No, I honestly don't know. It's literally just something a few more than one person has chucked at me, and when
so
more than
so
one
so
person
if
tells
someone's
you,
so yeah, so if more than one person has told you to maybe
yeah,
you should consider starting a podcast.
maybe. I mean, you know what it's like. Lots of people have said to me in the past, "Oh, you should start a podcast, and I can do you a special deal." And I go, "No, thank you. It's not the route
it's
I'm
it,
going."
it it's not, but you don't it's hard work, but
I bet it is.
it's not hard work. Okay, because I'm an independent podcaster. I don't have a huge team. It's me, my
Mm,
nephew, and my good friend Brandy, and she does the website. That she does most of the promoting and but we all do our part. We all do
yeah,
our stuff, and so in that regard, yes, I have a team. But as far as it comes to editing, video, all that stuff, I've had to learn that myself and do it myself. But the more I'm learning, there's tricks that I learned that now save me from having to edit. I go live, so now
yeah,
I don't have to edit the podcast, and
yeah. I can see that. I can see that.
so
Um,
it
the
benefits me in
editing
that
was
way.
scamming.
Yeah, but it doesn't take much to really. It looks like you already have the equipment to do one.
I mean, I have a variety of podcasts and mics. I don't always wear the headgear. It's just easier to sort of forget it's there, But I do have freelance mics, and not freelance. What am I talking about? Sort of freestanding is the word
Yeah,
I'm
no,
looking for.
but
But
the setup you have right now is
mm,
fine. The
yeah,
setup you have right now is fine. So for anyone to say, "Oh, I can help," listen, what you have right now
it's all you
is
need. Yeah,
is all you really truly need.
yeah.
People can see you, they can hear you. It it's not rocket science. So
No, I just like I say. I mean, I
it
only
may be
got back into
time, yeah,
this because I wanted to write.
yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. So ask me in 6 months.
All right, I'm gonna keep you to that. I'm gonna ask you in 6 months. So okay, so what's the name of the first book? First of all,
The first book was called Scale for Success, and that was a book that was almost a bit of a personal journey for me, having had a business myself that really got a bit stuck between 1 to 10 million scaling up, and then starting talking to friends of mine who were entrepreneurs and had got past that pitch, and some who hadn't. I realized that there was an issue which a lot of people don't talk about the problems of scale at that stage, that it's really, really hard, and so many businesses do get stuck. And so I thought, well, okay, maybe there's a book there. And I was very lucky. I got a contract for it with Bloomsbury Publishing. And so it happened. And, I thought, well, that's lovely. Sort of done that. That's a dream fulfilled, and I'll never do that again. Well, like I'm never going to podcast. And
I see.
yeah.
I see you starting a podcast. I see you start. I
um,
see you starting it. So in 6 months, I'm going to see your podcast somewhere. So
Well, like I say, I mean, did have an idea at the time with the first one of another book,
yeah.
which was the earlier one, and it was back to front. And Bloomsbury wanted to do the 1 to 10 million one anyway. But it just, it's like all those things. If it's an itch you can't quite scratch. It won't go away. It was there in my mind, and so over a period of 2 years, it emerged, and so the second one arrived.
Okay. So since you was a girl, you wanted to write. You wrote articles for magazines and for. So now you write your books.
I do, yeah. I mean, I still write some articles for one digital publication over here in particular called Elite Business Magazine, but and odd places as well. But essentially, it's books. I mean, this latest book, Start for Success, was nearly 2 years in the making. It
What's the
wasn't.
motivation? What was the motivation for you to write the book? Like especially the topic. You
I
said
guess
it was a lot of entrepreneurs, and you spoke to a lot of entrepreneurs, and to hear their stories. What was the
partly, yeah. I
motivation
mean,
for you to?
I watched. It was by that time I'd got so badly hooked on the writing process. I wanted to see how one could use stories in a business format. And
Oh,
so, the book takes you through the most of the things what you need to know in business, from I don't know, from sort of values to why start it to how to get finance, etc. Okay, lots of books do that, but I wanted to see if I could pull in interesting stories from entrepreneurs to illustrate those points that I was making, and sometimes to put two sides of a coin, the pros and cons of one particular type of crowdfunding. For example, somebody who was telling a interesting story about how it worked for them, or somebody who didn't, which sounded like a really interesting idea, like many things in life, and then turned into a mega project, because of course, that's a lot of information you're trying to cover in one book anyway. And then you add in, I don't know how many stories there are in there, to be honest. There's 70 entrepreneurs involved, and an awful lot of them have got several stories in the book. So you're talking about a lot of stories. So it was some jigsaw puzzle. But I hope it makes it different. I hope it makes it entertaining. And above all, what people do say about it is it's a very, very authentic book on entrepreneurship, which is I think, quite rare.
okay. So all right. So you can you all right, hold on one second. Hello.
Yeah, I'm
Can you
still
hear
here.
me?
I can now.
Oh man. So now, see, this is life.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, don't worry. I can hear you though.
Like for some reason, my headsets aren't working now, but I had to put you on my other
Ah,
mic. So I got to take that off. But
I can hear you fine, if it
uh,
helps, if you can
yeah,
hear me.
no, I couldn't hear you. That's what it was. My mic wasn't working properly.
Right.
So Yeah, now I hear you fine. I have
Oh,
you on my
pretty good.
monitor speakers, so yes, I hear you fine. But see, that's technical difficult.
I
Things
know.
happen,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
so you can't get upset over that. It just happens. You just gotta go and
Go
then
with it. Yeah.
yeah,
I've
definitely gotta
learned
go for
that
it.
when I first started podcasting as a guest, I was so terrified sitting here, I'm gonna pull the plug out, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, and then, I'm never going to be spoken to again. But you're right, it happens to podcasters as much as the guests.
Oh yes, it happens, but you gotta laugh it off.
Yeah,
You gotta just laugh it off, and the guest understands. Some people understand it. Like it happens, so
it's happened to all
yeah,
of us.
it's happened to the best of us. Yes, but where do you think you get your entrepreneurship drive? Like, what do you think you get that?
I think, it's a combination of things. I think I am very independent. And, I think that if you are possibly stubborn and independent, you'd want that freedom to do your own thing. I've got no objection to working hard. If anything, I work too hard. But I do want to do it on my terms. And I think for me, that's a major and always has been a major factor in entrepreneurship. To be able to make my choices about when I work, what I do, who I work for.
And that's my ultimate goal is to be
Mhm.
able to and I've and it's picking up. This year started off real well for me, and the ultimate goal is to not have to punch in a clock 9 to 5 and work for anyone else. But like anything, it takes hard work. It takes
Does.
dedication. You have to really be dedicated because you're sometimes you're gonna work much more harder on your business than you would at a job. So that's why a lot of
Uh,
people
Absolutely. It's very, very hard work. These people who claim that you don't have to work at all. And, when I'm interviewing, I've run into a couple of people who said, this person said to me, I was going to have to work really hard or I might fail. And I just sat there and I told him I thought it was disgusting saying something like that to me. But it seems to come as a shock to some people. But no, it is hard work, but it's worth it.
oh it is it's to be able to see the results and
Yeah,
being able to see the growth and of course with like anything you hit your speed bumps but you just keep going
yeah,
and
absolutely.
you learn like there's people sometimes I had a guest on now she's doing more video now she does video now
Mhm.
but when I had her on she was like oh she commended me because I was doing live and I was doing video and I said so when you gonna go video going live and she goes oh I don't know I'm not ready I'm waiting for the perfect time and I'm like that you're already messing up right there because there's no perfect time. Like, how are
No,
you supposed to learn and know how if you're going to be good or not if you don't do it?
absolutely. You can procrastinate and not be good enough forever and ever.
Yeah, so you have to take that risk. You have to take that risk in yourself, believe in yourself, and listen. You're gonna
Jump in.
fall. Yeah, you're gonna fall in, but just pick yourself up and keep going. It's
Failure is part of it, isn't it? I mean, it's the necessary steps you have to take,
yeah,
failing regularly at lots of things every day to be successful.
but it seems like that. Okay, so I'm not a fan of participation trophies. So I am truly not a fan of that because I know growing up, if if we didn't win and we got the little small trophies and the champions got the bigger trophies, that just motivated me to make sure next year I pushed harder and went and when I wanted the big trophy.
Yeah,
That was my goal. That's what made you want to work harder to get that trophy.
yeah.
Now it just seems like they just want to reward everybody for just participating.
Yeah, I'm not. I can't get my head around that one either. It's I just couldn't. I wouldn't be motivated to do it like that. I don't get it at all. No.
Okay, so we're gonna go back. You're gonna you have to do a podcast. You have to. No, you really you do. It's you would be good at it. You
Well,
have
thank
some.
you.
You have some. Yeah, like you.
Well, it was a good friend who said it to me today. Not a fairly good friend who said it to me yesterday, actually. So I am listening. I am taking it on board, and yeah, maybe.
Maybe yeah. It's a way of it's a way to promote your book as well. So
Yeah,
listen,
that I appreciate. Yeah, now, I mean, again, somebody else I was speaking to yesterday who was a podcaster and an author, and he was saying that, his book is actually, I can't remember how long he's had it out for, about 5 years, and because of podcast and the timing, it's actually doing better now than when it came out. So it obviously is great for authors, I think.
oh no, it's people are consuming content at a
Yeah,
a ridiculous amount, and so me, I felt that there was so much negative content that I just wanted to focus more on more positive and more knowledge based and more entertaining as far as teaching people teaching people what to do. Like trying to show people a better way than just all the negativity that's been around surrounding them.
yeah, no, well, I think that's really nice, and I think it's enjoyable and pleasant for people to listen to, which makes a nice change in comparison to some. Um, but it's horses for courses, isn't it? You have to find you have to find your authentic style as a podcaster, and people
Yes.
have to find the podcast that resonates with them. I think.
And I have podcasters that I listen to and everything, and
Mm,
but for the most part, I just come here and I be myself. I want to ask questions. I want to have my
yeah,
guests feel comfortable and be able to be themselves and have a laugh and just hear and just basically conversate it. So because I find that people tend to enjoy it more when you can just be yourself. People
definitely. Yeah,
people can
I
relate
mean,
more. So
nobody relates to somebody who's being fake, I don't think. Less so
well,
now than ever.
yeah, this is true. True. So one of the things I love about it is because now I get to see when people are tuning into the show. So Ben Sutter, what's up, B? He's the owner of BS3 Network, which we are live now, and so you can find it on the Roku channel. What's going on? Oh, it's my boy B. How's it going? Ah, my man Brian Snow, Snowman Media. But it's being able to interact with the audience. Sometimes they'll comment, sometimes they'll have questions,
Yeah,
and and sometimes the guests enjoy right when sometimes you catch the guest looking at the chat and they're like, "Ooh, I like that comment. Can you put that up there?" And it's fun, and I just find it that people tend to enjoy it more when they get to interact in the show and be
I
a
think
part of
that's
it.
right. Yeah. I mean, like I think I mentioned to you, we had a couple of launch events for the
Yeah,
book, and they were virtual because of one thing and another. And, so we had comments going. And while if you've got a lot of comments, it can be, as I'm
yeah,
sure you know, it can be sort of, a bit crazy with it, trying to follow everything. It's really nice to feel that communication with your audience it makes a huge difference. It's lovely. So yeah, anybody who's listening, hit that chat button.
yeah, yeah. Chat. How's it? I don't know who this is. Facebook user is. I don't know. Might be my boy will buy me. I don't know. I it because if on Facebook if you don't accept StreamYard or something, they can't. Their name doesn't pop up. But
Well,
yes,
Facebook user, we're doing
yeah,
great,
we're
and hope
doing
you
yeah.
are too.
The show's going well. We had a little technical difficulty, but it's going well now. So thank you, Facebook user. We're both doing well. Yes. Okay. So now with the book, how you said it's been out a few weeks. Oh yeah, it is about me.
Just,
Yeah, yeah.
just nearly two
2 weeks.
tomorrow, I think. Yeah,
Oh, so it's fresh.
it's very
And
fresh. Yeah.
and how you think people are receiving it right now? Like the people, like
I mean, I think and hope well. I was slightly behind the times in getting the marketing out there beforehand, which I know is the correct way of doing it. So reviews are only just starting to come in, but they seem to be pretty good, which I'm delighted with. And if anybody reads it, please do a review because it's gold dust that for authors. It means so much when somebody writes a review, and of course, it's also pushes sales up too.
no, it when they do the more reviews you get, the more you get into the
Yeah,
algorithm, and people will actually be able to find you much easier. I believe
absolutely.
as a podcaster, I know.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Yeah, same principle. Exactly the same. And for books on Amazon, it's the same thing. If people are hitting the inquiry button, even on them, Amazon pay attention and start showing it to more people. It's simple as that. So it really matters to people, to
No,
writers and podcasters too.
no, it does. And
Yeah.
my nephew released his book last year, January. It's been over a year now,
Uh-huh.
and we he didn't do the numbers that we expected, but we also just didn't really know how to really promote it, and but in this past year, we've actually started learning how to brand it, and we changed the
Mm.
book cover, and we've done different things to it and we're ready we're launching a podcast after the book.
Really, are you? What a coincidence.
So, but it's to help really push the book, but
Yeah.
it's a real good book. And so we're launching a podcast. He's gonna focus on talking about the book on it, and some of the topics on the podcast are gonna be things
Mm.
from the book. And it's just we've seen the way we've started, and the journey has been amazing. Like the people we've connected with, the networking we've been able to do. The last 2 years, we've been able to attend Podfest in Orlando, and actually network with other podcasters, and
Mm.
actually meet whole different we've met TikTokers, we met
Yeah,
Amazon
TikTok, I haven't fully
influencers.
got my head around, but go. Yeah,
No, we've met Amazon influencers. We've met so many
yeah.
different people, and that's where we actually got to learn so much that within this from when attended it last year to when we just attended it this just a couple of weeks ago, it was it was night and day for us. Like our first time, it was like nobody knew who we were,
Yeah,
and then the second time we went, we had people actually looking for us, seeing where we were at, and so we got that build up, and we actually learned more this second time now,
I believe
and
it.
and
Yeah,
being able to speak to like-minded people and take courses, and I learned about AI, Chat GPT. It's something
which
that
everybody is talking about.
yes,
Yes,
but for a podcaster, it helps out immensely,
sure.
especially when you're an independent podcaster and you don't have a big team, and it's
Mm,
you and that's it. So I anytime there's a tool out that helps independent podcasters, I'm all for it. I'll promote it, I'll share it, and I'll start using it because I know how much it benefits me.
yeah, yeah. No, I get that entirely. But you're right. It's surprising, isn't it? But 'cause it's the same as an author. Just the fact that this is the second book for me, and the second time I'm getting out there and everything else, it's altogether different. People know you already, and
Yeah.
that's really strange. It's
It,
lovely, but it's
oh, no,
surprising
yeah,
to me. You don't expect it.
it's different because now it, it, it's like okay, so now that people know your name, it's
Mm,
like, okay, where do I take this to? Like, what level? What's the next level
I
from
know.
there? So
Yeah.
yeah, I could imagine, and eventually, I don't know, I might write a book. And it's funny because I never thought I would say that.
Oh, why not?
Exactly. That's why I said
Yeah.
it seems like I'm gonna write a book very soon, and it's in a. Yeah, I just gotta make myself uncomfortable.
Yeah, there is that. And actually the writing part is the least uncomfortable bit about it. It's all the other stuff that goes with it that's
Yeah,
really uncomfortable.
it's the mental stuff.
Yeah.
It's the mental stuff. Definitely, yes. I agree with you on that one. It's definitely the
Mm,
mental stuff. The writing part is probably the easiest part. It's just
yeah.
the stuff in the brain just come out.
I know, I know. And you know, that and the promotion, and then when you poured your heart into it, sort of laying yourself open to people and saying, "This is me," you know, please be nice about it.
But I kind of do that with my podcast.
Mm,
That. So for me, it's I'm writing chapters with each episode.
yeah. It's a creator's thing, isn't it? I mean, you can't be a creator, I don't think, without laying yourself on the line emotionally.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why that's so I think I fell in love with with this
Yeah.
is because I needed that outlet to be able to express myself, and I needed that outlet to show people I'm more than meets the eye, and it's been therapeutic.
Yeah, I get that. I do get that, actually. I think particularly, again, the second book for me was, you know, because I think I dared be a little that bit more me, and that bit more revealing of myself in it, and it is therapeutic.
Yeah, it is that way, especially when because I'm sure if writing the second one, which much was more, it was easier than writing the first one because now you kind of
The
are
the writing
the
bit,
writing,
literally
yes, the
writing
writing,
was,
yes.
yeah, as I say, I'd set myself such a stupidly huge, complex task. That wasn't, but the actual writing was, yeah.
All right. Jan, this has been great. I've had a great time talking to you.
It's been my pleasure,
I know
my pleasure too.
I know it's late by you, and I don't want to keep you up too late, but this has been great. Um, if you do start a podcast, no. Sorry, hold on. Let me correct myself.
You're going to say
When
when, aren't you?
when you start a podcast, definitely let me know so you could come
I
back
will.
on and you could talk about it, and I would love to have you back on to talk about it. So,
Sounds great.
but
I would love
now
that.
we're not done yet. You get the solo layout and plug away. Let everybody know where they can buy the book, where's your website, everything.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that opportunity. As my latest book is Start for Success, and you can get it from Amazon or Barnes and Noble or any of the usual suspects. And if you have any difficulty or you'd like to know more about me, you can also go to my website, which is jancavell.co.uk. The books are on there, and on the Start for Success page, you'll find links to it anywhere you need to buy it from. But yeah, and drop me a line, tell me how you've enjoyed it. Love to hear from you. And any questions at all, if you're stuck on anything entrepreneurially, if I can help, I always will.
All right, thank you, Jan. This has been great. Thank you so much. Don't leave just yet, though. I'm gonna close out the show. I always do my shout outs. So as soon as I finish, we can chat a little bit off air. And
Sounds good.
this was awesome. Thank you.
My pleasure.
All right, so time for shout outs, everybody. Thank you for everybody in the chat. Ben, B, what's up? Again, Brian again. Obami, thank you. Big shout out to my Real Wise fan, Poppy J. Oh, I was about to say Brandy, but you said you can't hear me, Brandy. I don't understand why you can't hear me, but I don't understand either. But yeah, shout out to Brandy for everything. Big shout out to the boss lady, Fina. I love you. Appreciate you, baby. And as always, big shout out to all the Brandon, you got me confused over here because you can hear me, right, Jan?
Yeah, fine. Absolutely
So,
fine.
yeah, so it's coming through the mic, so I don't understand why you can't hear me, Brandy. But I hope everybody else heard me. But she's the first one to say. But big shout out to all the essential workers out there. Thank you. God bless you. Be safe. And to all the earthquake victims, our prayers and thoughts go out with to all the families out there. And peace out. Oh, see, I'm technical difficulties again. All right. Peace out.